Saturday, so today is the day I install the fuel system on the Mustang. If you've been following my channel and stuff, you've known that I am running E85 on the car right now, and the car is running out of fuel at high RPM. So what I'm going to do today is head down to Power by the Hour and get the fuel system installed. For the other people that follow me, that saw me install the new Ford Star F14 drag pack, here they are. Some love them, some hate them. I love them. That's really all that matters. So let's get down to Power by the Hour. I'm going to meet Donnie down there, and we'll see if we can get fuel system installed today and do some testing, see if I run out of fuel or not. Pulling up on Ferraris. That is kind of a funny thing about living in South Florida. You see these every day, so they're kind of not special. See if he wants to run. Power by the Hour. Donnie is giving me a hand installing the fuel system. I'm just going to show you it's not a fuel system per se. We kind of pieced it together from some Frankenstein parts, so I'll show you them real quick. Here are the parts that Donnie pretty much pieced together. That's Frank. Don't bother with Frank. So basically the controller he ended up buying new. He found a filter somewhere. There's also another inline filter in here, or a check valve, I believe. This is a check valve, Donnie? This Summit deal? Yeah. Okay, that's a check valve to prevent the fuel going the wrong way. And big inline filter. Controller, obviously the controller kind of runs the show. You can wire it many different ways. We're going to run the conventional way. We're going to run one pump and then trigger the next one off of the hob switch. So now I'm going to start tearing into the stock fuel system. This is the triple hat, triple pumps assembly I got from Dwayne Hickman. He was nice enough to cut me a great deal on it. It's a 4-hat. Some are double pump, some are dual hat, dual pump. This is kind of overkill for my setup, so I'll be running one pump and then triggering the second off of the hob switch. And if any of them ever go bad, I got another one ready to go. Key so we don't have that annoying sound. Hey-o. So the Schrader performance seat delete, rear seat delete. Hey, look, I was looking for my fucking sandals. There they are. So this is the assembly that has to come out. This is just a big old boot in the back of the car. Obviously you have a rear seat back here, so basically you just rip on this guy and disconnect this guy. I'm not going to give you the whole step-by-step process. I'm just going to kind of show you what's what. So the difference on this hat, if you notice, it's 3/8 out, and the stock connection on a 11 to 14 Mustang is 5/16. So what did I do? I cannibalized an old 11 to 14 this part. Basically I cut it into a square so I could use it as an adapter from the inside outside, because it's 3/8 on one side, see, and 5/16. This is hokey as fuck. I do not recommend this, but I wanted to see if a 15 and up fuel pump and hat would provide enough fuel flow to run E85, and it did not. Okay, disconnected it, little fuel came out of it. So as you can see, this was in the other hat. Okay, it's 5/16, 3/8. This is what's coming out of an 11 to 14 fuel basically size, fuel size line out of the hat, but a 15 and up uses 3/8. So 15 and up pump seems to do a little better in terms of flow. It's funny how you forget all the things that you had to do the last time to get everything off, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, so slide this way, obviously, and then squeeze. Whew, fuck me. So now this ring is held in by these little tabs, okay? So you have to rotate it so it can be here, so you can remove this ring. Obviously this ring has been off before because I had to tweak the metal a little bit to get it to clear out. That's next. So after hitting this with a hammer and some kind of chisel tool, spin it out of the way and get it out of there. Obviously it's going to be a pain in the ass because, for a couple of reasons, it's not exactly the hole on the hole where for the access. It's a little smaller, so you have to kind of tweak this guy to get it out. As you can see, you have to kind of manhandle this thing out of there. So that guy's gone. Get that out of there. It stinks like E85. And this guy should come right out. There it is. There's going to be another line in here in an O-ring, And the other line that's connected to the bottom of this is the siphon for the other side of the tank. The tank is, you know, kind of one on this side, one on that side, and it siphons from the other side of the tank. See if I could show you it coming up. Okay, so that's what it looks like, guys, when you take it out. That part right there is the hose that connects to the bottom of the hat, and it sucks the fuel off from the other side of the tank. This whole bucket, this is where it collects the fuel from. This is its own sump, for lack of a better word. This is the actual sending unit for the tank, so be real careful taking that out, and disconnect this guy and do not let it drop in the tank, or you'll have a armful of E85 or pump gas when you try to retrieve it. Well, there it is, the siphon, or whatever, the access line for the other tank that goes at the bottom. It's out. I'll go ahead and show you the assembly. Donnie building his rear end to run 990s. And here it is, guys. So this is the 2015 fuel pump hat assembly. Remember, what happens on this guy is the fuel fills up in here and it uses this as a sump. Problem is, on the 85, on, you know, pretty crazy fuel systems or fuel demands, it might either empty this guy out, or this pump is just not pushing enough volume for whatever reason. The 15 and up assembly, like I showed you before, has a 3/8 out. 2015s have a 5/16 out, so that's probably the biggest difference I saw. But the hats themselves are the same, so it's not time to transfer this guy onto the other hat. Sending unit installed. There you go, clipped into place. Gotta cut these wires and splice them in according to Donnie. I'll let him do that because, you know, he's the electrical expert. Stuff is transferred over to the new Fore triple hat. The line that siphons from the other tank, the sending unit, it's spliced in or crimped in and tucked away with a little zip tie, and time to put it in. Donnie wanted me to obviously point these to the right so we can route the lines in there properly, make sure the wires, you know, have plenty of lead on them. But yeah, here it is now. Put the locking ring on there. This serves sort of like a slot, basically, to just throw it in there. Yeah, man. Make sure the O-ring isn't sticking out of the sides or anything. The green O-ring. Let me lift it up a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. That little green O-ring. Put that sucker back in there. Should be good to go. Little break from working on the fuel system, and sorry the camera's a little hazy. Put in Donnie's max built rear end. He built here, power by the hour. 9-inch ends, has a wave track, welded axle tubes, 315 gear, 33 spline axles. Are these Mosier, Donnie?
Yes.
Yeah, Mosier axles. And yeah, pretty straightforward. Just wanted the rear end not to be an issue going forward, and not bad for a daily driven 980 car, soon to be a 950 car. I've removed the VMP fuel pump voltage booster. This is the programmable version, just so that you guys get an idea of something that VMP is going to offer in the future. So as you see, it has a boost reference. It has, you can hook up a USB to it and use program on your laptop to access it, and you can ramp in voltage based on boost. There's your boost reference right there. It's a simple plug-and-play unit. The only thing you have to do is run a 12-volt wire. Obviously, I did it the hard way and went all the way to the front, but you know, took a little time, ran a boost line from the front to the back. Came with their harness. It worked really well, especially when we want to boost the car on pump gas over, you know, 650 rear wheel horsepower, 630, 620, depending if your stock fuel pump is up to the task or not. So still tearing into it, running wire. All right, here we go. Ran the wire from the front to the back. We're going to go over to the side there and see if we can route it nicely out of the way so that we can put the controller and everything under the Schrader Performance Seat Elite close to the pump. Trying to shed some light. So this is the gigantic fuse coming from the engine bay. I just zip tied it off to the side here. Gonna put this cover on it and you know, ride the fuck out like my buddy Joe says over at VMP. Cover it up, be good to go. Put it behind the kick panel. I already ran the power lines. Put one under this guy. This guy's pretty well protected, so I ran it. bare like that through the engine bay. Out through here, through this grommet. I have to still push this guy in. So basically, under the guidance of Mr. Donnie, we're gonna, make it pretty, kind of clean it up like that, running it up to the engine bay. Power wire. This is going to be for the hob switch. We're going to mount it remotely so it doesn't rattle around. But yeah, moving along. We are here. We're going to be using -10 feed, -8 return. See if I can crowbar them in that little crevice in there so they can make their way underneath the car and hook them up to the hat right here. That sucked. So they're in. Big old fat lines coming out of the triple hat, triple pump Fore deal. Running them behind the shit. I'm gonna have to rod them around so make sure they don't pinch or anything, but fuel supply should not be an issue going forward. I didn't buy the kit from Fore. I received, this is as a used unit, so each wire is power and ground for each pump or each pair of wires. So 1, 2, 3 pumps. I'm just gonna splice these guys with some wire that I have here, red and black, and kind of run them over to that controller over there. Try to tuck it as nice as possible. Honestly, as long as it's out of the way, I'm good. I'm not really gonna be all super clean and anal about it. I just want it to work. So that's next. Kind of moving along with everything. Got a bunch of wires run. It's a lot of wiring on this guy, but Donnie's guiding me nicely, and hopefully we'll get it all buttoned up within the next couple hours. It's not the worst day in the world when you're listening to Snoop Dogg working on your car. That's what happens when you work around people that are on your age. So, this is what it looks like right now. It looks like a bunch of mess of shit. I'm wiring in the sending unit right now. All the wires are connected to, and they're headed over to the controller. Just plugging away. Wiring's going to take the longest, so Donnie's working up front, installing a fuel pressure sensor, fuel rail pressure sensor. Keep track of fuel rail pressure and actual fuel rail pressure versus what's in the tune. We're getting closer. It's a long day. It's all day. If you're going to do this project, especially on a piece together kit like we did, it's going to take all day. So let me keep plugging away and stop talking shit. So, shitload of wires over there. So I got the controller hooked up. 2 pumps, power, chassis ground, controller 1, controller 2, I believe. And yeah, man. So once the hob switch sees a vacuum, or sorry, a boost, it should kick on the second pump to come on. Permanently mounted that. So the nice thing is all of this will be covered up by the Schrader rear seat delete. I'll clean it up a little better. I actually shoved the wires through the factory boot so it looks halfway decent. Again, if you guys are doing this for the first time, it's going to take you all of a day. Even if you have a little bit of experience, there's some stuff that needs to be done. But getting there, about a half hour away from firing her up. Let's see how she does. Late night, had a couple of back, I don't know what do you call it. I'm tired. Okay, I had a couple of issues pop up, but we finally got it all set and installed. Regulator is, let me see if I can get a good picture. Regulator's in the house. It's in place, doing its thing. Got the feed line on the side here. Return line at the bottom. And line going to the fuel rails are there. I have a Hobbs switch. Basically, when it sees what, 3 pounds of boost, Donnie? 3 pounds, yeah. 3 pounds of boost. It basically makes contact here and it allows the second pump to kick in because there's a boost reference going to right here, back of the blower. Boost reference to the Hobbs switch. So right now it runs on a single 465, and then once boost kicks in, 2 465s, which is more fuel than I'll ever need, really. It's kind of a rat's nest back here right now. I'll get better video for you guys. There's the semi-rat's nest that's going on back there. I'm literally too tired to try to straighten it up, but the nice thing about the Schrader Performance rear seat delete, here you go, it goes right in. Covers up. Yeah, I'll have to tuck it in a little bit and clean it up, do some vacuuming. I did a lot of wire cutting, a lot of stupid shit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see if she'll start up. This is a legit first startup, not a startup attempt, then that went successful, and then people post it. So I set the base pressure to 55 psi. We confirmed it with a gauge. Let's go. Bada bing. First start attempt, no issues. Oh, I got check engine light, which I'm sure probably has to do with everything and anything. I'll check that code in a second, but my sending unit was wired correctly. That's my main concern. This is probably because it's missing the fuel pump driver or something. I'll have to either delete the code or figure out what that is, or set the code to off, because right now we have a return style system and it's probably freaking out that something's missing that it's not seeing. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'll see what it is and you know, let you know. Hey guys, so it is fucking midnight. late night. Very tired, but I'm driving the car with a return style fuel system that we just installed. Donnie is a friend, someone I consider a friend, helped me out, did me a big solid today and stood by and helped me out when we had some trouble with the car, but we figured it out, got it all settled. So the way you know, a couple of ways you know how the car's doing in terms of fuel system is your lambda value when you're at wide open throttle. Okay, right now I'm just cruising. I'm gonna put it in third gear, do a wide open throttle hit. I'm commanding 0.79 and I think I blended up to like 0.8 or something at the top. So before, at about 5,000 RPMs, the lambda value would start creeping up. 0.82, 0.83, 0.84, and that's when I would let off because I knew there was a problem. So let me do a little test hit here. Let me do this without any editing. Fourth and third gear. So I'm already at 5,000 RPMs. Let's do a small watt. Let's see what the lambda value does. Okay, so that was just 7,000 RPMs, and it went 7980, just like I wanted to. Let's do it again, just to confirm my findings. That was a big backfire, because I'm a baller ass like that. Let's see it again. Same deal. So, it's needless to say, I have enough fuel system to do what I need to do. Very happy. Now let's look at short trims, see what the MAF data is like. Okay, the top two values are short trims. I'm gonna try to be steady state. The bottom value on the left is commanded air fuel, and on the right is my spark. Let's see if my short trim data is on point. Okay. I really can't complain when it goes -1% in the MAF. Thank PMAS for that. Consistent, good. So needless to say, guys, I'm a happy dude. Short trims are good. Measured air fuel is good. I'd say this fuel system is a success. Thanks for watching, guys.